Hello mga ka-Teds TV. Throwback lang natin yung IBF Flyweight Championship of the World between Riel Casimero and Charlie Edward.
Triple G Promotions and sponsored by Cessna Bank Expo 2017, Capital Holding, JD Sports, StubHub, Dapperbet, and WeBuyAnyHouse.com are very proud to bring you 12 rounds for the IBF Flyweight Championship of the World. Official sanctioned by the International Boxing Federation, President Darryl Peoples. Our supervisor is Anibal Miramontes. And from the British Boxing Board of Control, our steward in charge is the President, Mr. Charles Giles. At ringside, our judges scoring. From England, Michael Alexander. From Washington, USA, Glenn Hamada. And from the Philippines, Dan Rex Tapdasan. On the bell, our timekeeper, Bob Edgeworth. And when the bell rings, referee in charge from England, Mr. Steve Gray. And now, ladies and gentlemen, time to meet the boxers. In the red corner, winning the white shorts with green and gold. At the weigh-in, he scaled 7 stone 13 pounds. A perfect record. 8 contests, 8 wins, 3 wins inside the distance. The reigning English and WBC International Silver Champion. Tonight he is the challenger from Epsom, Surrey, England, the undefeated Charlie Edward. And across the ring stands the champion, wearing blue and white shorts. Also on the scale, 7 stone 13 pounds. From 25 contests, 22 wins, 14 inside the distance, only 3 defeats. He is the former IBF light flyweight world champion. He is the reigning and defending IBF flyweight champion of the world. From Ormoc City, Philippines, it's Cuadro Alas, John Riel, Casimero.
Okay, boys, if a call break, you take 1 step back. Don't let any punches go on the back of the head. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck, boys.
Another fascinating matchup and another amazing chance for a young British fighter to leap up and try and grab that golden ticket. We've got a record 14 world champions for Britain. Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Tony Bellew, James DeGale, Billy Joe Saunders, Liam Smith, Kell Brook, Ricky Burns, Anthony Crolla, Terry Flanagan, Lee Selby, Carl Frampton, Lee Haskins, who's on later, and Jamie McDonnell. Can Charlie Edwards make it sweet 15 and add to that list? But he's got to derail the tough, rugged, strong, deceptively powerful John Riel Casimero. Vastly experienced, Paulie. He's been around all over the world.
Vastly experienced, and he's going to look to make Charlie Edwards uncomfortable, knowing he hasn't been in with the quality as a professional at this level.
Right hand already, trying to detract the tactics of Edwards, derail them fast. Edwards will be looking for the neat jab, the combinations, the quick feet, the mobility, Dave.
Yeah, I was speaking with Danny Vaughan, his trainer, earlier on today. They're very, very confident. But Danny, as a coach, he knows he's done all the work in the gym. They've worked, they've moved, they've used the skill, they've used the height, the reach, everything he needs to do in this. But once that bell goes, the trainer can't do anything. The fighter's got to implement that game plan. And, you know, we're seeing here, Casimero's actually getting up to him closer a little bit earlier than what I expected. I thought he'd take, look, another right hand. I was expecting it to be a little bit more comfortable early doors for Charlie.
Yeah, and Casimero throwing some big shots. He looks like he's looking to make an explosive statement right off the jump.
We're going to see a lot about Charlie Edwards tonight.
I wonder if he's looked at him and thought, this is a youngster. He's 23. He could be mistaken for 16 or 17, and maybe he feels he's a bit brittle and he can apply the pressure and he'll crumble. But Edwards He's looked so far pretty tough for his slender physique. We'll find out more here as he tries to get the ring movement flowing. Edwards behind that jab. He's just stalking Casimero, closing down the distance, looking to hurt him early.
Yeah. It seems like Charlie's still trying to settle into the fight. Oh, and then big right hand, nice right hand there by Casimero.
You don't really want to be settling his fight and taking shots like that, though, do you?
No, absolutely not. He's trying to stick out his jab. I'd say with Charlie, he's a little bit tight right now. He's got to use some feints in there. He keeps coming up short with the jab. Maybe use some feints in there. Relax a little bit and see what kind of reactions Casimero gives you.
It's a big night for Charlie, isn't it? This is his 9th pro fight. He's very young, very inexperienced, very green, and just on the occasion, the undercard that he's on, it takes a lot of maturity for him to go out there and implement a game plan that he's been working on for weeks.
I totally agree with you, Dave. I would like to see once Charlie warms up how he gets things going. Casimero's finding a trajectory on the right hand, but Charlie, for his own sake, at least has that left hand up.
Yeah.
He's been so confident, Charlie Edwards, since he took the challenge. He accepted it straight away. He watched a couple of rounds of Casimero, and he thought, I can do this guy. He's a plodder. That's a tough start, though, for Edwards.
Yourself. You're boxing, just get to the jab. You're boxing, boxing's the one. Okay, how you feeling? Boxing over. Okay. Boxing. Stick to it. Step out of range all the time. Move to your right and take that right hand away. Uppercut, left hook every now and then. Boxing, get into the rhythm.
One of the best and most emerging trainers we have, Danny Vaughan, and he's reignited Charlie Edwards. Even after just a few fights, they've got a wonderfully close relationship over in Marbella, where Edwards has honed himself into top physical shape. He's never out of it, really, but for this one, he has to be spot on and so sharp to implement the game plan, and it's going to be hard against this champion, former light flyweight king, now the IBF flyweight holder, Riel Casimero, in his 26th outing, 22 wins, 14 knockouts. He's the power puncher in there, but is Edwards quicker?
You see how Charlie's still coming up just a little bit short with the jab. So I'd like to see him change the rhythm on that jab a little bit. Maybe touch with it sometimes. Don't always throw it so hard. And then see if you get a reaction out of Casimero. Maybe you can counter his counter off of that.
Toe-to-toe there. And Casimero trying to drag him in, Dave.
He's got to be careful in the exchanges, Charlie. He really has. He doesn't want to be hooking with this guy.
Yeah, you got to change that rhythm on that jab, because one thing about a jab, no matter how fast it is, if you don't change the speed on it or change the rhythm of it, a good fighter will time it and counterpunch with it, off of it.
The plan is a 12-round boxing exhibition. That was the idea from Team Edwards. Now he's got to implement it. Lost the first, didn't he?
Yeah, I think Danny Vaughan was right. He needs to feint a little bit more before he shoots that jab.
Yeah, you see, he's heavily relying on that one single heavy jab.
Yeah.
Maybe even double up the jab. If you're not going to feint with it, if you're not going to touch with it, maybe throw 2 in a row and see if you back up Casimero, and maybe you can follow with the right hand. Also, Casimero's looking to punch off of your move. He's looking to try to time it. Maybe you, again, like I said earlier, you can maybe counter his counter, but you got to soften up your own jab in order to lure that counter out of Casimero, so you can counter off of his shot.
See here, right hand again, Casimero, just trying to get his combinations flowing. Edwards,
Yeah.
it's an unusual style, isn't it? He's got the Filipino.
He has been set for power. You can see, you know what he's going to do.
Yeah,
he's wide leg. He's just looking for big power shots. Every shot he throws is going to be power.
Especially a big right hand, right, Dave?
Yeah.
I mean, he's looking for a huge right hand. At this point, I would say Charlie should try to almost lure it out of him,
Yeah.
and get ready to counter it. You know that right hand's coming. You know he's going to shoot it. He's just looking for the moment. Maybe give him that moment. Give him the bait. Let him fall for it, and then counter with a big shot yourself when he throws the right hand. Because Charlie is a taller guy. He can pull on that right hand and counter back with his own left hook.
He's a taller guy, but he's struggling a lot to run that jab. He's not making use of his height.
Yeah, because he's throwing it the same speed. He's throwing that same speed jab. He can really vary it with. He's got a nice jab. He should really be able to vary it.
Yeah, and I don't think Casimero's having to work hard to get in range to hit him, which you would hope that early doors, Charlie would be making him work hard, use his legs.
underneath every now and then, in and out faster. Yeah? But let's see that now, trust the body, right hand over the top. But when you come, you've got to come back out tight, yeah? As it goes on, he's going to be slowing, you're going to be getting faster and better and stronger, okay? This fight. Use that brain.
Tom Stalker, former Team GB captain, of course, very much part of the Charlie Edwards team. He trains alongside fighters like Derry Matthews. It's all happening out there in Danny Vaughan's gym. There's a real buzz amongst them. Some electricity and real belief. But has this come too soon? Does he know enough? Is he as experienced over the course of rounds, 3-minute professional rounds? Has he got enough in the bank to be able to somehow fathom a way to take this title, bring it back to Britain? Because Casimero has seen many different styles. He's that much further down the track, Paulie.
Yeah, he has. He seems the more relaxed of the two. Charlie seems to have a set game plan. It's about just executing it a little sharper. I mean, clearly the jab is part of the repertoire here, and it's part of the game plan. And I see him doubling up on it a little bit more as this third round starts, and that's part of the adjustments that I think he has to make.
See, this is better. He's using his speed to get out of the range and not give Casimero anything on return. Get your jab off. Look for something. If he's not there, then get your feet out there.
Hunting the body as well. Casimero. The first defence of the IBF 112-pound title that he won against the unbeaten Thaiamnat Ruanarong in Beijing. And before that, he held the light flyweight crown. So he's been operating around world class for a few years now. And Edwards, well, he's only had those English flyweight title wins, good ones, against Lewis Norman and Phil Smith, then beating Luke Wilton. But it is such a leap up, you know, like Brooks doing leather against Golovkin in levels.
Yeah, you've got to think about, you know, bridging fights and learning fights along the way. But, you know, it's refreshing to see kids that coming out of Team GB wanting to take a big step to test how good they are already. You know, but maybe sometimes you look at a video, you look at safer fighters, and you don't think they're as good as what they are. They get in the ring and they read fights a little bit better. They're a little bit cute and a little bit more difficult to tag. And I think Charlie expected to land more than what he is doing.
Have you found that through your career, thinking about Miguel Cotto and so forth?
Yeah, of course. You know, there's certainly different levels, and you learn as you step your way up. But you also mentally know there are those different levels. So when you get in the ring with those guys and the fights are tougher, you kind of already expected it, so you don't panic. I don't really see Charlie panicking. I just feel like he has to believe in himself a little bit more. I think he has the sharper of the two guys as far as offense is concerned. I think he's the better boxer. He just has to believe in his speed a little bit more and really bring some other punches behind that jab, either more jabs or a right hand and a hook after it. As Casimero is wasting less energy, but he's making it count more when he throws.
Yep, some neat punches from Edwards, but those right hands, you can feel them more from Casimero. Eye-catching for the judges' day.
Eye-catching without a doubt, yeah. He looks like the guy that's putting the pressure on, making Edwards work harder than what he needs to be or wants to be doing.
We'll find out later. He's pretty good, but is he great? Interesting one here, the IBF flyweight title. Big leap up, step up himself for Epsom's Charlie Edwards, the 23-year-old in only fight number 9, with just 3 knockouts. Debuted last year against this tough Filipino John Riel Casimero, who's coming early. He's got a really big, strong team around him, has all week. Sean Gibbons, his agent, was telling me he's been through a lot in his life, and he's ready for anything Charlie Edwards can throw at him. He was saying himself, Casimero, that he was once like Edwards, and he admires his ambition in taking this chance, but it's just too early.
Yeah, he's a champion that believes in himself, is Casimero. And as we talked about earlier, I mean, he's traveled the world and fought all over the world, so he knows what it's like to have to make defenses on the road as well.
He's actually had to escape a riot, too, in the ring in Argentina when he beat Luis Alberto Lazare for the interim IBF light flyweight title. It all kicked off, and I think Sean Gibbons broke a couple of ribs in there. There was a big punch-up. They were hiding under the canvas.
That's the thing, Adam. When you beat these fighters in their house, their fans aren't particularly happy about it.
This is probably why he's looking so relaxed here at the O2, because nothing like that's going to happen. So.
Big right hand again. He tries Casimero. And at Tough upbringing as well. It was hard on the streets of Cebu City. And just started to dig in some body shots and really winging them.
You see,
big uppercut, and Edwards felt that. And that's a breakthrough there for Casimero. Just staggered Edwards, and now he knows he's in deep.
This is what I mean by Charlie has to settle down. He's too quick to want to use his legs for defense. Sometimes using the legs for defense isn't the option. Sometimes it's about closing up your defense, closing yourself up, making yourself a smaller target, and not using your legs. As he's trying to escape so much, Casimero's just doing less work and putting him in position to set him up for other offense.
This is what I like about Casimero. He's not rushed it. He seems to got a reaction out for a shot. He's not rushing it. He expects to knock this kid out. That's his mentality.
He's working to it. Yep.
There's a swagger, isn't there? There's a cool, calm, methodical approach. 14 stoppages he has, and that's a body shot, which is going to slow the legs of Edwards down.
I remember a great trainer, Teddy Atlas, once said, you know, there's three great methods of defense. There's your legs, there's moving your head, and then there's blocking and covering up. You know, Charlie's only showing the legs. He's not, and he's gonna have to settle down and start to catch shots or move his head and make Casimero miss right from there so he can counter him. You know, if you're always using your legs for defense, he's either gonna miss or he's gonna land, but you're not gonna be able to make him pay the way you need to pay, the way he needs to pay to lose some confidence. You gotta force Casimero to break his confidence.
He is cut though. Casimero, left eye. Well, there's something that's gone wrong for the champion, but not much.
Yeah, still gives blood. How you feeling?
Yeah, that's a fantastic uppercut he catches him with.
Yeah. And he set him up. He noticed as Charlie kicks backing away, he dips down. And right there, he got him to back away the same way and then rip that uppercut.
I'll tell you what, Charlie Edwards showed a good chin to say that. That's one box that will take you, because that could have put him to sleep.
Because he dipped right into it.
Yeah.
He's dipping right into the uppercut.
He recovered really well.
Yeah, Casimero knew that dip was coming.
Yeah. But the worrying thing for me, other than the uppercut, Edwards are getting caught with a lot of shots to the body there, and they take it out. Where they could recover from the headshot, the body shots they hit in that round are going to stay with him.
Yeah, and I noticed in Casimero's corner, I don't understand Tagalog, but in Casimero's corner, they are showing with their movements about the body shots to go down to the body.
Obviously a tactic for John Riel. Casimero, an accidental head clash. Calls that. Now we're into the 5th round. That will go to the scorecards, of which surely on yours, John Riel Casimero is way ahead.
You're way ahead. The note that I just saw there, the first shot that Casimero came out and threw was a right hand to the body.
And that's the thing, Dave, right? When you got an opponent who keeps moving and using his legs, you take the air right out of the tires. You know, you keep going to the body. And Casimero doing what a veteran would do.
And the thing is, he's using his feet to get himself into range, and also using Charlie's feet coming at him to pick those spots, to take those shots. He's very clever. He's a lot more clever than what I thought just watching a little bit of it.
On paper, experience, seasoning against youth and ambition and maybe freshness, but is this turning into real man against boy here? Champion and a challenger that's come a little bit too early. They've taken the plunge. Eddie Hearn took the call, I think, from Al Heyman's people to say, have you got a flyweight that John Riel Casimero can fight? And he thought Charlie Edwards is a bit young, maybe he'll go for a European title next, but Charlie took it, and Danny Vaughan has got the belief that he can pull this off over the 12 rounds. But he's got a long, long way to go.
Right here, you want to see Charlie be first in these kind of moments, especially when Casimero misses. You got to initiate the offense right back.
That right hand again, just waiting for the counter.
When Edwards is stepping in with that jab, he's leaving his back foot a little bit far behind, just making it a little bit easier for him to get counter with that right hand.
Casimero, who's moved from Cebu City to Ormoc City, but he's really a man of the world.
Good shot right here from Charlie. That was the best right hand he landed in the fight, right?
Good shot.
Not give him a little confidence. He needs a little bit of confidence.
And it's about that, isn't it,
Yeah.
Paulie? Round after round, when you go in too early, too soon maybe to something, that you've got to find it.
Yeah, absolutely. And eventually you're going to have to make a decision, or you were going to refuse to lose. If Charlie starts to continue to lose these rounds, he's going to have to make the adjustment and say, you know what, did I come here to not win the world title tonight, or do I'm not going to take more chances? These jabs that he's shooting are terrific, but a lot of them are not landing the way they need to, and he's not following them up with anything substantial.
It is better, though, from Charlie Edwards doubling up the jab, but still he's dangerous, Casimero.
And that's the thing. If he can get away from not getting hit with right hands like that, he would win the round on controlling the distance. But Casimero works about 1/3 less, but then he'll land a big right hand here and there, and it'll match whatever Charlie's doing. Because Charlie can win the round on controlling the range if he doesn't allow himself to get hit.
What a slight shift in the plot, nothing dynamic, but
I can see it from here. Jab,
maybe
body,
more
get your own
success
right
this
hand
into
rolling, and
Danny
you
Vaughan.
with that right hand now. But don't go again. When you're there, step back out again. The backhand's the difference all the time. The backhand's on now. Yeah, and the one up the middle. You've got to let it go. Yeah? Just time it. How you feel?
Keep your shape of doing what you're doing. Boxing,
Keep
keep your shape.
square on sometimes, and keep your shape as well. But jab, feints, put him under pressure. He's feeling it. I'm telling you, he is. Okay, now
Do all the best shots now, you know what I mean? You're getting stronger.
Let's see you step to your right now. Step to your right more, get your own right hand going, and bring it up the middle. All right, that was a better round. That was your best round up to now.
He's right, it was his best round.
Yeah, Danny's right. He's right in what he's telling as well. And it's nice to see how calm and relaxed Charlie is in the corner. It shows a lot of maturity. But let's not forget, he got hurt in the previous round, and he's come back and had his best round of the fight. It shows a lot of guts and character, that is.
This is the 6th round. It's the 164th of a career that started in 2007 for John Riel Casimero. And this is only the 57th for Charlie Edwards. That's the difference.
You see Casimero still looking for that right hand over the top of the jab.
He's going to look for that all night. And that body shot. I was just about to say, and the body shot. I expect him to throw a lot more body shots than this.
So the judges, they'll be looking at work rate or accuracy. You know, that last round probably Edwards is, but you know, these ones could be split a little bit, Paulie.
Yeah, they're close.
There's a lot of there is close rounds, but a lot of Edwards' shots, early doors especially, were missing, falling short, and whereas Casimero looked comfortable pressing the action and landing the heavy shots.
See, even if Charlie's not doing a whole lot here, if he's controlling the range with his jab, if he can just do this and avoid getting hit with too many big shots or any big shots during the round, you know, he'd win the round on the activity, on the controlling the range, you know?
Yeah, sometimes it's good enough just to steal around here.
Yeah, you know, you just don't allow Casimero to get into an comfort zone. Casimero can try, he can miss. You can keep controlling range with your jab, with your boxing ability. You're winning the round on ring generalship.
So, Paulie, he could begin to frustrate Casimero.
Exactly.
But here's a question. Has he got the power to keep him off with just the 3 knockouts at a lower level?
Well, maybe he doesn't. But, you know, if you're not landing punches, if you're missing like this, and then Charlie's continuing to bury you with his jab, you're going to lose the rounds. And it's mathematics. You win more rounds than you lose. You win the fight.
You see, you look at Casimero, how he's loading up on every single shot. Surely as the fight goes on, if he keeps missing these shots, he's going to get tired, he's going to get ragged. And then maybe that's where Charlie's fitness and youth and energy could take over.
You see, Casimero starting to reach more to the body and go less to the head as he's missing more of those headshots.
Yeah.
Maybe he felt, Casimero, that he would go out and make a statement early, that Edwards would fold as he lands another body shot, but...
Yeah, Casimero's attack this round has been almost exclusively to the body. When he tried to the head, he missed every time so far.
But he's showing grit, isn't he, Edwards? And a good ring brain, too, to just try and keep his composure, stick to the tactics. No real panic, Dave.
No, he may look like a young baby, but you look at him and how he's fighting, he's showing a lot of toughness in there. He's showing that he's fighting like a man, which is what he needed in this fight.
He's getting more confident in the right hand. His corner did say start using more of the right hands, and he's getting more confident in shooting that right hand.
Win or lose this, it could be the making of Charlie Edwards.
This will bring him on 100-fold, it really will. These are the fights that young fighters learn. Whether it's a world title fight or not, whether you win it or not, he's going to improve.
Just a bit of reddening around the left ear of Charlie Edwards.
Another thing he did, in the corner they told him, go to your right, go away from his right hand. He did a good job of that round.
This is what we've been talking about in the gym. Everything what we're doing, this is not new to us. What we're doing here now is what we've been working on. Now he's getting desperate. You've got to invite him in with that half a step.
Continue to build up to one of the greater rivals onto the British scene in recent years. We are thrilled to have him with us. Gennady Golovkin is in the building. Doesn't it show, Dave? You've been around the domestic game for so long. We can attract this sort of star quality.
Oh, it's fantastic, Adam. British boxing, I've said all along, is flying at the moment. To bring somebody like Triple G over, it's amazing.
We even got Paulie Malignaggi to come.
You should have more big fights here. It seems like they're more appreciated by these fans, I'll tell you.
Better from Charlie Edwards?
Yes, better last round. Again, good instruction from the corner. Bring out the more of the right hand. Go to his own right, which would take him away from the Casimero right hand. And Casimero, dare I say, for the first time, looked a little befuddled that round.
Oh. Good right hand to the head, though. We'll watch the leaky defense. Edwards, is he going to take risks? Is he going to get back behind that jab?
And he's getting it now. Why? He went both times he got hit with right hands this round. He was going to his left. He's got to make an adjustment to go to his right. Last round he did a great job with that.
See, the last 2 rounds I've actually given Charlie the last 2 rounds because he's implemented what Danny's been wanting him to do. He has kept away from that right hand and he has stuck to his boxing and picked his spots. This round he started off going back to his left, like Paulie says, and he's getting caught with these. He needs to get back to his game plan.
Casimero did lose to Amnat Ruaron in June last year, but apart from that, recent form has been knockout form. A win in 11, a win in 1, in 2, in 4. That's the power that he has, and he hasn't taken Edwards out early, but he might feel that down the stretch he'll still have enough zip about him, especially if he continues to land the body shots like that.
Something that might come into play later on, Adam. Casimero's got a history of struggling to make this weight.
Yeah.
Now, you don't know how he's made the weight. Obviously, he's made the weight, but you don't know how he's made the weight. If a guy normally struggles to make the weight, then odds are he could have struggled on this one. And the amount he's loading up on shots and missing as well as landing, and missing especially, you know, he could tire down the stretch, and he could tire all of a sudden.
It's happened, I think, 3 times in his career. One time he was 5 3/4 pounds above the weight limit.
So that's not a guy that makes his weight limit easy.
That means he had an extra meal during the week. a meal that wasn't healthy either.
It's a good little body shot.
He's going to be told to keep them up here, Casimero. He had a warning a little bit of time ago by Steve Gray, but he's starting to just get through, and Edwards felt that. Oh, big shots here from Casimero, and Charlie Edwards has to hold on and cling. And has he got the experience and knowledge and know how to do it?
He keeps ducking the same way. Casimero knows he keeps throwing the uppercut. Charlie has to make an adjustment in the way he's slipping that shot.
Inside the last 30 of the 7th round, he was doing better in the last couple of sessions, Edwards.
Or at least if he's going to duck that way, put his hand in front of his face, palm down, so you catch the uppercut.
Was that inexperience, Dave?
Yeah, 8 fights. You don't learn these sort of things until it comes to fight a situation like this, you know?
You're gonna duck that way, hand in front of your face, palm facing the floor, open glove, and what happens? You'll catch the uppercut at least.
Big hooks going in from Casimero, who feels he's more powerful, stronger, and in charge. And look at that.
This what you're doing now. You're going to have these moments. We talked about this. Yeah? Come on, you've got to dig deep now and show me what you've got. Yeah? Get your chin down, get that left hand tight, and just get back on that boxing. Let's just box. Get your bending down. You've got to
fascinating listening into Danny Bourne, isn't it? He's absolutely right. Lumps and bumps along the way. This is what I told you would happen.
Danny knows his boxing. He's worked with a lot of high-class fighters, you know, including people like Derry Matthews, who's been in so many big fights. So he's got the experience. He's got the experience to bring this kid through this. Some good uppercuts there. That's the shot. Again, Edwards is showing his toughness.
Yeah. Again, it's loading big on the right hand. It's always to the right hand. So if Charlie can escape going to his own right instead of hitting his own left, I mean, almost all of the sustained offense from Casimero is with the right hand, be it the overhand right or the uppercut.
Even the body shots are all right hands.
Yeah, even the body shots. You're right.
5 rounds to go in this IBF flyweight title. Judges Michael Alexander just in front of us from Britain, Glenn Hamada from the USA, Danrek Taptadown from the Philippines. I wonder how they're seeing things. They might not be needed if this ferocious attack from Casimero continues. He wants the knockout here.
He's really going for it. He's really going for it. Charlie's just got to frustrate him this round and not give him anything this round. Don't let him hit him with anything hard. Get on the end of the jab, time up when he gets close. Just don't be there to get hit.
The thing is, Dave, he's already been hit with that earlier hard assault to start the round. He's got to take back control of this round.
There's the body shot again. Shown a decent chin here, as you said earlier, Dave, Charlie Edwards, but can he take sustained punishment in a hard 12-round fight? These are questions, aren't they, as you get towards the championship rounds? Jim Watt used to tell me there's often a round that makes the difference. Could this be the one?
Yeah, that's quite possible. I mean, the unfortunate thing is he's had a couple of good rounds on the bounce and his confidence will have been raised, and then he's just had a nightmare round, and so far in this round he's taking some big shots as well. So he's got to get that confidence back. That's especially when you're a young fighter, you need to have that confidence.
You see how Casimero just sticks out those touch shots, and he's just looking for a reaction from Charlie so he can set him up. That's what I'd like to see Charlie do with his own left hand. Not always throw the jab so hard, put out those touch shots and see the reactions you get and set up Casimero. Casimero is actually doing it to him there. Big right hand.
That's another one. Oh, and he's just gripping down on that gum shield, Charlie Edwards. And all the hours of training, he's got to suck it up. But it's all very well in sparring and in the amateur ring and in the young pros. But this is real, and this is world championship level, and it is tough, Paulie. You've been there so many times.
Yeah, and Charlie now is using his legs. He's just trying to escape.
This is getting tough. This is getting really tough for Charlie.
You wonder if Casimero is going to beat the willingness to win out of Charlie, or if he's going to try to survive, or is he going to continue to try to win. It's not an easy decision when the fight becomes this difficult.
Gonna work from Edwards there. Can he sustain it? He had a good couple of rounds in the middle of the fight. It's starting just again to seep away from him. Hurt. A little bit affected, maybe confidence-wise as well. What are you thinking there?
Yeah, definitely his confidence is affected. You know, you can see it in his eyes almost, really. He's just looking for a way just to stop this onslaught, stop these power shots coming his way. It's kind of like not looking for a way to win the round, win the fight. You know, he needs to have a little bit of success. He's showing bags of courage, he's showing bags of heart in there, and to be honest, a really good chin.
Okay, yeah? Okay. Let's show me a bit of balls now. Let's show me what you got here. Okay, we said we're going to have the moments like this. It's going to get, it's going to get like this sometimes. You've got to dig deep now and show me what you
whispered something in Danny Vaughan's ear there, Dave.
I was trying to pick that up, Adam, but I couldn't hear what he was saying. There, so you can see they're just not ruffled at all in Casimero's corner. They're expecting to stop Charlie.
Feliciano Agabogo in the corner with Jason Casimero, John Riel's brother.
Once again, I like the instructions in the corner from Danny Vaughan, though. Keep that left hand up and use your right uppercut, left hook when he comes in, when he flies in. And what does that mean? Casimero comes in with wide over the top right hand. So if you're blocking with your left hand, watch where Casimero's head winds up when he throws the overhand right. It's in the trajectory for the uppercut to be thrown by Edwards with his right hand. So if he does catch the Casimero right hand with his left hand, he can shoot back with the uppercut and left hook. I like the instructions from Vaughan. It's just Edwards needs to be consistent with his jab on the outside, not take these big shots, and come back with a counter. I do believe Casimero needs to be countered to be domesticated a little bit.
Yeah, the only problem with that is, as a young kid, he's had a couple of rough rounds where he's getting caught. He's feeling those overhand rights. So when your confidence is low, to have the confidence to stand there and look at blocking and countering straight off, put yourself in that danger zone, sometimes at this stage of a fight, the confidence might not just be there to carry out the coach's instructions.
It might have been beaten out of him at this point. You're right.
Still stalking forward. Casimero, Edwards attempting the jab. Still utilising his feet, moving as free as he can, trying to rat-a-tat, get the punches home that he's crafted since an 11-year-old. Really good member of Team GB, had a great rivalry with Jack Bateson, and showing some skills here, Edwards. Will it be enough, though? At the moment, on your cards, no way.
No, at the moment, no. And the worrying thing is that on each attack that Casimero's launching, Charlie looks like he's worried. You know, he's not got the experience of look at that, the body shots that he's taking there. They hurt and they stay with you.
And this is what it is to be a top pro and a top amateur. You know, sometimes people see the Olympics that just passed and they see the handful of pros that were there look bad and they say, oh, well, maybe the amateurs can compete. Not in a 12-round fight. This is the thing about being a pro. The sustained attack in a 12-round fight, the little nuances, the little adjustments, they take their toll as the fight wears on. This is the difference of being a world-class pro. Charlie Edwards may get there one day, but it seems like this is going to be a learning fight for him tonight.
I think what will have knocked the confidence in the whole camp, whole corner team, everything, is I don't think they expected Casimero to get to him until, you know, mid-rounds. I'm sure they expected to win the first few rounds with his feet, with his fast jab, and just pop him all, you know, for the first 4 or 5 rounds. And then I'm sure they expected it to become a hard fight where he had to show his guts after, in the later stage of the fight.
Nice right hand there by Edwards a second ago.
Tom Stalker living and breathing every moment of it, bellowing instructions to Charlie Edwards, applauding when he does land. There's real camaraderie in that blue corner.
And notice Casimero cutting the ring off, making Edwards work 2 or 3 times as hard. Everybody's convinced that Casimero will tire and Edwards won't in the Edwards corner, but Casimero's the one saving his energy.
Paulie, I'll be straight with you. I am very impressed with how Casimero split the ring off. I didn't expect him to have a good feet. Because in the other fight, he looked like he didn't have great
Let me
feet.
see that right hand now underneath. 1, 2, jab, right hand underneath. Step back out. Left hand's got to be tight all the time. Okay? Just see him move your feet more. Move to your left, then go right. Make him to work all the time. I want to see more feints now. I need to see that uppercut when he comes in. He's walking onto it. He's getting desperate. Uppercut left hook and move. Yeah? Okay? You stick to the boxing.
9 minutes, lad.
9
Real
championship.
Wait.
When he's over,
Ayaw maglaban. Ayaw maglaban kung sulit ka. Ayaw sabay unaw, sulit ka. Andaan
Yeah, again, you know, in order to win this fight, Charlie's got to somehow try and carry out Danny's instructions. Danny's absolutely spot on. You know, if you want to become world champion, you want to win this fight, you
But
have
as
to
you
do it.
said, like you said last round, Dave, his confidence is knocked out. He's going into flight every round. He's moving way too much now. I call that going into flight. He's almost in flight mode, and you can't set up any sustained offense when you're in flight mode.
And we're already in round number 10. 9 minutes to go. Dave, Paulie, how are you seeing it on the cards? The 3 judges, obviously what matters, but what's your feeling at the moment?
I've got it wide for Casimero.
Yeah, I've got Casimero way ahead. I think Charlie needs to a big finish for this fight, and I like how he's holding his ground. At least he started the round holding his ground. You got to make the decision here. What are you going to do? You're going to go for it, or are you going to settle with the points loss?
Good right hand from Edwards.
Nice right hand.
Yeah, lovely shot there.
And a little push for good measure on the break. Still got that mean streak in him.
There has been signs from Edwards. Were the team, Dave, right to take the opportunity here, or would you have waited, say, a year or 2?
Adam, he's not disgraced himself. He's shown a lot of character in this fight, and it's a fight that's going to bring him on. People are too afraid to lose their unbeaten record. If you're going to get beat, you might as well get beat in a world title fight. You know, and like I said,
I think that's a good point. Paulie, agree?
Yeah, it was worth taking a shot, especially at this weight class. You know, the guys tend to get title shots a little earlier in this weight class. So, you know, even if you lose, you're not going to disgrace yourself, especially the way Charlie's been competitive and trying every round.
Well, let's be honest, there's not as many of you, are there, Dave? You struggled when you were in that division.
When I boxed, way back, there was about 26 fighters in Britain. Now,
beautiful shot.
Walk into it.
Straight into it. And he's hurt badly here, Charlie Edwards. He's going to do very well to recover. He's brave. He gets to his feet. His legs have gone. He's being asked to walk forward. Steve Gray's giving him every opportunity. Every opportunity. Casimero wants to get on with it. There's over a minute left.
He's got to hold.
Does he have the experience to hold? Can he recover from that? I don't think so. Steve Gray holds it. It is over. John Riel Casimero successfully defends his IBF title on the road again. And it was a brave effort from Charlie Edwards. But unfortunately, it just came too soon. He didn't quite know enough. Patches there from Edwards. A real learning fight, guys. But Casimero, take your hat off to him.
This is a very good world champion, Adam. Just take my hat off to him is right.
Paulie, I'm really impressed with him. He's come over here, he was comfortable, he was laid back, he never rushed anything. Even when he got Charlie in trouble earlier on in the fight, he didn't rush it, he didn't rush things, he just kept
He looked cool as a cucumber all week, and he looked cool as a cucumber throughout the fight.
He did. There was a calm and confident feel about the whole camp at Casimero. Sean Gibbons telling me he's not going to be worried about coming here. He's not at all. He's been everywhere. He's been involved in so much. And Charlie Edwards, well, he took the opportunity. He wanted it so badly, and he tried everything. That left hook, though.
You hook with a hooker, right? Well, what they say, don't hook with a hooker.
Don't hook with a hooker. You know, the thing is, he got up. He still got up from that shot. That shows, you know, what kind of kid this is. You know, he's had a rough few rounds, but he's got nailed, and he's still got up trying to win this fight. I take my hat off to him. He'll come again. This will do him the world of good. There's a lot of things to learn in experience, and he will come again.
Terrific character from Charlie Edwards. Education may be a painful one tonight, but he took that opportunity, and you've got to say that John Riel Casimero did his job as champion.
He fought with his heart on his sleeve all night. Charlie did. Casimero is a tough veteran world champion. It is not always that we win our first world title shots, but it doesn't mean you're not going to come back and win a world title again.
Look at these shots. You know, he's a good finisher, Casimero.
He is. I would have loved to see Charlie hold, but as Adam said, he just doesn't have the experience to think of it.
Yeah. You know, when you're young, you're full of bravado. You know, you don't want to hold, you know, on this stage.
And you know what it is, too, Adam, Dave, you know what the weird thing is, guys? In the gym, you prepare only to win. I never really see anybody preparing to hold when they're hurt. You know what I mean? It's the weirdest thing because it's like nobody wants to think of the negativity. Oh no, we're not going to go down. We're not going to be hurt. But it's a possibility. Maybe it's also something to work on in the gym. How to hold when you're hurt. How to escape danger.
Good respect between the pair, as we knew there would be. Charlie Edwards, no question, he'll come again. But the night here in the flyweight division belongs to the Filipino John Riel Casimero.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Steve Gray will bring together both boxers. As he does so, please, your appreciation for both boxers in the ring. The end comes, ladies and gentlemen, at 1 minute 57 seconds of round number 10. Referee Steve Gray stops the contest. In his opinion, Charlie Edwards in no position to continue. The winner, and still the IBF flyweight champion of the world, John Riel Casimero.
Well, a brave effort from Charlie Edwards, but ultimately